Surveillance through Centralization, Smart Cities. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Smart Cities Plus Internet of Things series. It's time to talk about centralization, the backbone of modern surveillance. Because smart cities aren't just about collecting data, they're about consolidating it. Surveillance isn't dangerous because it happens. It's dangerous because it all ends up in one place. That's what makes it powerful, and that's what makes it dangerous. If data is oil, centralization is the refinery. It takes raw data, your movements, purchases, routines, health markers, conversations, and turns it into refined insight, patterns, predictions, risk profiles, behavioral scores. All of it stored, analyzed, and acted on, not in isolation, but from a single control point. In the past, surveillance was scattered. Your health records were in one place, your bank in another, your school history, your web searches, your transit card, different systems, disconnected from one another. But smart cities change that. IoT connects all the sensors, AI integrates all the data, and centralization fuses all the categories into one continuous identity file. You are no longer a citizen. You are a behavioral portfolio, scored, ranked, and routed accordingly. And once everything is centralized, the system doesn't just observe. It governs, not with laws, but with logic gates. You don't get arrested. You just don't get in. You don't get questioned. You just get flagged. You don't get banned. You just get hidden. And the system doesn't even need to explain itself, because the decision wasn't made by a person. It was made by a function. Let's look at WeChat in China. WeChat began as a messaging app. Then it became a social network. Then a payment system. Then a government portal. Now it's an all-in-one centralized identity platform that combines your chats, bank activity, transit, health QR code, purchases, and even political content into a single digital identity. That identity determines what doors open, what events you can attend, what transportation you can use, what you can buy, and who you can talk to. If your score drops, your world shrinks. And make no mistake, this model is spreading. Governments and corporations are experimenting with centralized digital identity systems that will combine finance, travel, health, education, and communication into one platform. One login. One master key to your life. And that key is programmable. You've already seen the signs. Your email address is now your ID. Your Google account logs you into half the web. Your Apple ID syncs your entire device ecosystem. Your social logins connect your bank, your job search, your calendar. Your face unlocks your phone. Your fingerprints authorize payments. What used to be fragmented is now fused, and that fusion gives enormous power to whoever controls the platform. Because centralization isn't just about convenience, it's about gatekeeping. When everything routes through one channel, the channel becomes the authority. It decides what's visible, what's allowed, what's accessible, what's prioritized. And once you're locked into that channel, you no longer get to negotiate. If your email provider decides to suspend you, you lose your logins. If your payment processor freezes you, you lose your business. If your digital ID gets flagged, you lose your access. And if your cloud service deactivates, your memories, tools, and archives vanish. And there's no court, no appeal, no explanation, just system logic. That's the heart of centralized surveillance, silent enforcement through system dependency. Let's break down what's being centralized right now in smart cities. Surveillance footage from street cameras, private homes, and commercial properties is often routed to centralized cloud platforms for facial recognition, gait analysis, license plate reading, and movement tracking. Environmental sensors track pollution levels, noise, crowd density, and temperature, then merge with citizen behavior to predict risk activity or justify shutdowns. Transit data tracks where you go, how often, and at what time, combining with purchase histories to build a behavioral loop. Biometric inputs, face, voice, fingerprints, walking style, are stored in centralized recognition systems that are increasingly required for entry, access, and verification. Personal devices, phones, smartwatches, earbuds, constantly ping city infrastructure, revealing your movement, your audio environment, your pulse, your interests, and your stress level in real time. On their own, each of these systems could be dismissed as convenient. Together, they form a surveillance organism, and the organism doesn't forget. Once your data is centralized, it can be stored indefinitely, cross-referenced instantly, and interpreted however the system wants. A cough during a pandemic becomes a health alert. A late bill becomes a risk score. A politically charged message becomes a red flag. A 3 a.m. walk becomes suspicious activity. A wrong location becomes geo mismatch. And you never know what tipped the scale, only that something did. And once your profile is affected, the consequences stack. Maybe your transit pass stops working. Maybe your job application goes missing. Maybe your search results change. Maybe your digital payments slow. Maybe your content is throttled. The system doesn't say no, it just says less. And it says it in 100 small ways until you're boxed in without realizing it. This is the true danger of centralized surveillance. It doesn't punish, it limits. It reduces you. Not with violence, but with code, with friction, with invisible doors that used to open and now don't. And the people building these systems will tell you it's for safety, for efficiency, for the planet. They'll say centralization is better for governance, smoother for UX, more secure for citizens. But here's the rule. The more centralized a system becomes, the more fragile freedom becomes inside it. Because centralized systems don't bend, they break. And when your access to society depends on a platform, you no longer live by rights. You live by terms and conditions. So what can you do? You decentralize yourself where you can. You diversify your tools. You own your platforms. You store your information offline. You back up your data. You practice analog skills. You memorize what matters. You disconnect your identity from apps that want to absorb you. And most importantly, you stay alert. You question every single push towards seamlessness, because seamlessness is where invisible chains are hidden. The rise of smart cities is really the rise of centralized control with a soft face. And if we don't push back now, we'll find ourselves inside a city that doesn't feel authoritarian, but behaves like it is. You won't be told to comply. You'll just realize one day that you can't move until you do. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.